Hi Jos, suppose it's a game of fine margins, isn't it? You had chances early on to get rid of Hardick and Rishabh cashing on.
Sorry.
They cashed in on the lives they were given. Game of fine margins, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. If you give good players a second chance, there's a good chance they'll hurt you. And we bowled fantastically well at the start to take early wickets and give ourselves a chance. And if we managed to take those two chances, I believe we would have gone on to win the game.
You haven't been able to bat out for 50 overs in any of the 3 games. Is there anything you would put that down to, or?
No, we just need to be better. Absolutely, we just haven't played our best by a long stretch, going back to the T20s as well. So I think individually and collectively, just to reflect quickly, because there's not much time, but just what things we need to get back to, what we do really well as a team. We've not played a lot of ODI cricket in the recent past, and maybe just working out the rhythm of the game again. And but we just haven't played our best, and actually not playing our best at Lords, and today we still get up to a score that gives us a chance.
Have you been surprised at all by the white ball? Seems to have moved more often at any time in the last few years, probably more so than the red ball.
Yeah, certainly. There's probably been more swing in the games than I can remember. We usually go to the Oval is somewhere that's traditionally an excellent batting wicket, and that was a tough conditions, or whether that was the overheads or the wicket, and the ball moved around, and going back to the T20s as well. So I think it has probably moved more than I've seen in the recent past.
Is that down with the balls, or is it?
No idea.
Are you happy with that? I mean, I suppose it gives you the chance to test yourself against something different. But
yeah, it does. I think over the last few years we've played on a lot of great batting wickets in England, and the balls haven't moved much. So if you ask the bowlers, I'm sure they're happy with that, and you want to see the challenge. And I think over a period of time, you need to be able to adapt to all different conditions, and that's what our ambition is, to be the best team in the world. That's what you've got to be able to do, and adapt quickly to what's in front of you.
And just a word on the bowlers as well. You've obviously got several bowlers sidelined, Chris, Jos Buttler, the list goes on. But like you said, they've done really well. Reece has really made a case for himself in these last few games.
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of guys missing out, and of course that creates opportunities for others. And guys have stepped up really well. Reece Topley's been incredibly impressive, hasn't he? To 6 wickets at Lords, 3 in the power play again today. He's got some great attributes, and really pleased with his performances, especially.
Go ahead, please, and then
Josh, Vimal Kumar this side. Is Rishabh Pant the most audacious stroke player of this generation? Almost impossible to plan against something as a captain.
Well, judging by the Bumrah question a while over, I think you can make your own assumption again. But Rishabh is a fantastic player, and again, if you give him a second chance, he'll generally hurt you.
But what sets him apart from the other stroke players?
I think there's numerous great stroke players around the world. Rishabh is a very fearless player. He's someone who is great to watch. He's brilliant for the game in all formats. He's an exciting player to watch, and it's probably his mentality that seems to set him apart. He obviously has fantastic talent, but he's someone who looks like a really fearless cricketer, and looks like he gets great backing to go and play however he wants to play.
Mel, and we'll do Julie and George.
Just to pick up on what you said about the adapting, do you think one of the biggest issues that the fact that the batting wickets have been so good here, that perhaps some of the players aren't so good at adapting? Is that a modern sort of white ball thing? Is it an England thing because of the pitches you've played on at home, or is it the actual approach isn't working?
No, I'd say you haven't quite just played at our best as well. You're talking about some of the best players we've ever had in English cricket, and some of the best players in the world. And They just haven't got in. You know, someone, I won't say names, but there's some brilliant players there who have incredible experience, and you know, they're usually fantastic at playing what's in front of them. But we haven't really got in and had long partnerships. And you know, I think you saw today, anytime you did get a partnership going, you then started to be able to score freely. And I think that's been the thing. We haven't just got in as well as we would usually. And you know, we've played in all sorts of different conditions over a long period of time. For us as a team, the sort of slow wickets are generally the bigger challenge for the style of cricket we would like to play. But I do believe we can, at our best, impose ourselves still on those types of wickets, which actually allows us to get bigger scores than maybe we used to on those kind of wickets as well. You just have to play better. It's as simple as that. And just
quickly also, they had a clear plan to you when they had Jadeja in the deep on the leg side, and they were bowling short. Were you just backing yourself to
No, that's just poor batting.
Julian?
Yeah, just following up on that really. So you're not particularly averse to sort of the team knocking it around for ones and twos if that's what the situation requires?
No, not at all. We want to play a really positive and aggressive brand of cricket, and you know, sometimes I think more for you guys, you see that as you just have to hit fours and sixes, and it doesn't mean that at all. You know, so if it's playing the situation in front of you and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. So if what's possible is only ones and twos, it's making sure you get ones and twos as opposed to dot balls. So that's more about it's trying to push the boundaries of what's capable on a wicket on the day.
Thank you. George and then Mike, we'll finish with that.
How are you finding the demands of captaincy?
Yeah, I think I'm learning lots about it. I think I've certainly found the first week of captaincy busy, but certainly feel a lot more comfortable now. I think you know, there's been lots of games, very short space of time, which I think has been a challenge as well. Just to sometimes, you know, it'd be nice to have a day where you can just sort of reflect a bit and not always be thinking. Yeah, so that's felt busier than I think it would normally. And I feel like a really experienced cricketer, but in terms of a captain, quite a young captain, and with lots of you know, opportunity to grow and to learn about the role. And I think it will take a bit of time. You know, I think, you know, I want to sort of try and run before I can walk. I just got to, you know, try and work it out, be myself, and use the people around me to help me. There's some such experienced guys in the dressing room, and all the coaching staff have been really helpful for me, and can certainly lean on those guys to assist me.
Jos, you mentioned the schedule is busy. Some of us might say it's ridiculous, but is that one of the reasons why Reece didn't bowl his full today? Because you've got to just try and manage his workload a bit?
Yeah, no, I think absolutely. I think we have to look after the players. I think the schedules are incredibly tough. You know, the thought of a 3.5-hour bus journey tomorrow to then play another 50-over game on Tuesday is probably, you know, there's risks there, especially for the bowlers. So we'll have to manage those guys and maybe look to rest a few guys. And again, that creates opportunities for others as well, which is great. There's you know, lots more guys sat on the sidelines who are wanting to you know, have that opportunity. Matthew Potts comes into the squad for the South Africa series. He's obviously been doing brilliantly well in the Test series. So there's another guy who's you know, exciting to see in ODI cricket if he gets his chance. But yeah, certainly for someone like Reece, who's you know, he's been through a lot with his body and his career, and I think he has a great understanding of what he needs. So it'll probably be a good conversation with him to, especially, and all the bowlers, to sort of see how they're travelling, because I don't want to get to a point where we push guys too far.
Last one, Adam.
Jos, just on a more personal note, you've obviously 2 weeks through this month of loads of white ball cricket, first month as captain. How do you sum up that in terms of your batting and your captaincy? I mean, how do you feel about your game?
I feel really good about my game. I think I've been in some of the best form of my life, and You don't lose that overnight, so I still feel in great touch. You know, form isn't just about the results you get in terms of the score. You know, sometimes you score runs and you don't feel great at all. So I feel very good about my own game, and I'm just sort of, you know, like I said to the question before, just learning the art of captaincy, how you know, what it looks like to me, and I, you know, that's my style, and how I sort of manage it is going to develop over time with experience. And you know, it's felt exactly the same thing as a player. You can't buy experience, and again, the same with the captaincy. I have to use those experiences over time. Of course, you want to accelerate that learning as quickly as you can, but sometimes you do just need a bit of time. And there's been a bit of change, obviously, for the group. We have a new coach as well, so yeah, it's just sort of letting that bed in as quickly as possible, but it might take a bit of time.
Would you say that over the next 2 weeks, that finding your own style is one of the key focuses for yourself?
Yeah, well, just being myself is going to be my style, but just sort of more about managing my own time. You know, I think around, you know, for like the morning of a game, you know, I've obviously been a player for a long time. I was very clear as to what my morning looks like in terms of how I'd always prepare. So again, it's just finding that rhythm of what it looks like on the morning of a game, what it looks like at training, and yeah. So I think, you know, I'll work that out for myself.